Yo, what is going on, guys? Star Wars Verse here, and welcome back to another video on Star Wars. And this will be my review slash breakdown for Star Wars Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 12, otherwise titled Victory and Death, which is sadly the final episode we will ever get on the Clone Wars, as it is the conclusion to the Clone Wars story arc. And it is pretty goddamn sad that this is the last episode, because these past episodes have been so good. And also, for those watching in May the 4th be with you. Before I do the breakdown, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Star Wars content coming your way. And spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen the episode, you have been warned. Now, this episode was a really dark episode, and it kicks off where we literally left off from last episode, and it is where Ahsoka and Rex are in the medbay, and some clones are trying to break in. Ahsoka tells Rex to set his blasters to the stun setting so he doesn't have to end up killing his brothers. The clones attempt to break the doors, in which Ahsoka uses the Force and pushes the door onto them, which I thought was really sick. Rex and Ahsoka then make their way along the ship and they fight off some clones. And then one of the droids, I think it was R7, correct me if I'm wrong, informs Ahsoka that all the escape pods have been destroyed, so they wouldn't be able to use those. So Rex and Ahsoka are gonna have to find a place where they could, use a ship to escape. But Rex tells Ahsoka that Maul has escaped as well, and Ahsoka reveals to Rex that she was the one that broke Maul, or released Maul, and she needed to do that because she needed diversion so she could, remove the chip from, Rex and find out what's happening to the clones. We then cut to Maul, and he's using the comms to plan his escape, and then we see him see two clones, and he just force chokes both of them, and he pushes them into the reactor room, and then we see him obliterate some clones, which was so sick. And we then see him destroy the ship, and it was just such a sick shot. We see him tear down pieces of the ship, and he does that so the ship cannot go into hyperspace anymore. But due to what Maul did, the Republic cruiser is no longer able to go into hyperdrive. And Ahsoka tells Gigi, the other droid, to find out what happened to the ship. And we then cut back to Maul, and he uses the clones' comm thing to listen to what they're saying, in which he finds out that the clones will be waiting for Ahsoka and Rex in the hangar area, because they obviously know that they're gonna try and escape. Rex and Ahsoka then are made alert that all of the hyperdrive in the ship has been destroyed. Rex and Ahsoka, after noticing the hyperdrive isn't working, instructs Gigi to open up the roof, and they notice that they're in very close contact with a moon. So they need to leave the ship at once, or else it ain't gonna end well for them. We then had R7 opening up the sealed doors so they could, look for a ship so they can escape. But they find out that the hangar is surrounded with an entire army of clones who are now led by Jesse. We then get such an emotional scene with Rex and Ahsoka, and Rex is just upset about the fact that he doesn't want to end up killing his brothers. And this scene was just great. Ahsoka tells Rex that she isn't going to kill any of his brothers, has an alternative plan in which they're about to execute to plan their escape. We then have them executing this plan, as we have Rex pretending to, bring Ahsoka to Jesse as a prisoner. Rex claims that Ahsoka can't be executed as she is no longer a Jedi, and I'm just glad that they've mentioned that. Jesse says that there were orders to kill Ahsoka, which came from Rex's mouth. Now, this was the thing I didn't understand. I don't understand why, Maul and Ahsoka were to be executed, because Ahsoka is no longer a Jedi, and Maul has nothing to do with the Republic. So this is why it was pretty confusing, and I'm glad that they, sorted this out. And we then get the scene where Jesse accuses Rex for treason against the Republic and demotes him. He, threatens him as he violated Order 66. But while Jesse is threatening Rex, we have R7 activating some like elevator type thing, which results to some clones falling down into another room. And the remaining clones are gonna have to face off against Rex and Ahsoka. But we then have Maul enter and he runs towards a ship, and Ahsoka notices that, so she runs straight after Maul as well. And they have like a short fight, but then Maul uses the Force, which pushes Ahsoka into the place where the clones fell. But thankfully, one of the droids were able to throw a rope in which Ahsoka was able to hold and allowed her to climb back up. And we then had obviously Maul trying to escape, but Ahsoka uses the Force to prevent Maul from escaping, which just gave me goosebumps. It was so sick, and it just shows how powerful Ahsoka is at this point. But Ahsoka can't hold for much long because Rex really needs help, as he cannot hold off all those clones firing at him. So Ahsoka makes a decision where she lets Maul escape and she helps Rex fight the clones. But we then have Maul escape, and Rex and Ahsoka are there having to fight off the remaining clones. We then have the ship being burnt up as it reaches the surface of the moon. We then have Ahsoka use her lightsaber to cut a hole from the ground as they go down into the lower levels, and we have Ahsoka then having to face off the clones again. And the droid uses this device to pull the clones back up. So some of the clones are now lifted to the surface of the hangar, and then the remaining clones are still gonna have to face off against Ahsoka and Rex. But we then have Rex and Ahsoka locate another ship, so they rush towards it, but then the Republic cruiser gets destroyed badly, and only Rex manages to get into the ship. So Rex tries to catch Ahsoka while she's falling, which was so cool. Rex does indeed succeed to catch Ahsoka, and it was just such an amazing shot. But we then have this sick shot of the destroyed Republic cruiser, and we see Rex and Ahsoka, and they made like a grave for the clones, which is pretty nice. It was just cool, seeing all those clones, helmets. It was just nice. And it was just sad seeing Jesse being one of the clones that had to turn as well, as he suffered so much, and he's even been tortured by Maul as well. So makes us feel bad for some of those clones. But we also had Ahsoka in her Jedi hood and Rebel's robe as well, which was cool. And we then have Ahsoka drop her lightsaber to the ground to show the people of the Empire when they visit the area that Ahsoka is dead, so she pretty much faked her death with Rex. Now we then get a transition of a few years after, and we see Darth Vader land on this snowy place, and we see Darth Vader finding Ahsoka's lightsaber. So now those two scenes are linked, but it is obviously a time jump. And we see Vader find Ahsoka's lightsaber on the ground, and we can just feel the pain Vader is in as he just picks up that lightsaber and holds it. It's almost like him saying what have I done? We do see that regret in Vader. And it was just so sad seeing Vader collect the lightsaber he gave to his Padawan years back. But we see Vader ignite the blue blade, confirming it's Ahsoka's lightsaber. Now this was so probably now Vader thinks that Ahsoka is dead, but then we have a bird flying above Vader, and Vader looks at it, and this is Ahsoka's bird thing from Rebels. So this could hint to Vader now knowing that Ahsoka could somehow be alive, and will probably go into a hunt for her. We don't know about that. But we then have a rusted and frozen clone trooper helmet, and we see the reflection of Darth Vader walking out, which was awesome. The effects and stuff in this episode was just great. How they shot some scenes was just stunning. And yeah, I did not expect that time jump at all, although I did expect some Vader. Now this time jump is after Revenge of the Sith, because Darth Vader does have his red lightsaber over there, and he does construct that lightsaber a while after Revenge of the Sith. So this is after Revenge of the Sith, but we don't know where in time exactly. Overall, this episode was great. It wasn't the best episode we had on the Clone Wars, but it was by far the most emotional episode we've ever had on the Clone Wars. And it was just such a great episode in the same time, and I will give it a 9.7 out of 10. Yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.